Year to here. My dad said to me quite a while back, a long time. He died about 10, 11 years ago. But he used to say to me when I was young, because I was very reckless, I was extremely reckless. He used to say to me, son, youth is a blunder, old age a regret. He'd say that to me over and over again every time I messed up. Youth is a blunder, old age a regret. Let me pull up the word blunder. B-L-U-N-D-E-R. What does it mean? A stupid or careless mistake. Verb, make a stupid or careless mistake, act or speak clumsily. Youth is a blunder. Youth is a stupid or careless mistake. Youth, using the verb, makes a stupid or careless mistake, acts and speaks clumsily, which you can relate to. Youth is a blunder, but old age a regret. Now let's see, what does regret mean? R-E-G-R-E-T. Feeling sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. Now that's important. That's important. Feeling sad, repentant, or disappointed over. So when you look at old age as a regret, which one fits most? Well, especially a loss or missed opportunity, feeling sad, despondent over what happened or what you could have done or didn't do. Youth is a blunder, old age a regret. So when you're young, you have the opportunity to make choices that would adversely affect the future that you could possibly have. But instead, you act foolishly. Stupid or careless mistakes. You speak clumsily. Can you imagine if I knew what I know now and I had to relive my life? What would my exuberance be like? It's interesting. I probably wouldn't change anything because wisdom comes from making very bad choices. I've made a ton of them, trust me. I could have set records with bad choices. I've messed up more times and I care to even think about. In fact, there was something I heard in a movie called A Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel Jackson, and he said something. Let's see if I can actually quote him verbatim. He said, I've never done one thing correctly. Now that takes skill. I talked about it with my daughter the other day. He's never done one thing right. That takes skill. And it's true. It takes a lot of skill to just mess up at everything you do. I was very close. What saved me was support unit, my sisters, my son, my family, a very strong support unit, especially my immediate senior sister, Auntie B, as my daughter calls her, my second mom. Youth is a blunder, old age a regret. Well, we're becoming younger. They say 30 is the new 20, 50 is the new 30, whatever. Well, that means that we can redefine where we stop being youthful and when we start being old. And instead of us to repeat the same trivial mistakes, maybe we have to think about long-term consequences to everything that we choose to do. That'd be interesting. Think about it. You actually think about the long-term consequences of the actions that you take. Save a lot of pain in the long run. Save a lot of pain in the long run. There's a quote I had: short-term pleasure. I have so many quotes. Sorry. It said something about, in all you do, make sure that you do not settle for short-term pleasure, which would inevitably create long-term pain. Yes, pain, pleasure. These are the two paradigms that actually are used to, I don't want to use the word control, but what really determines and motivates the mind to work is the fear of pain and the desire to gain pleasure. I got that from Tony Robbins. I read that long time ago, like 25 years ago. I was talking about pain and pleasure. More people are motivated by the fear of pain than they are by the desire to gain pleasure. Hence the reason why selling hell is so successful. You go to hell. Going to heaven doesn't motivate you as much as the fear of going to hell. If we are honest with ourselves, we would know this to be true. A lot of us are afraid of going to hell more than we are going to heaven. Because if we really wanted to go to heaven, we'd be very quick to die. Think about it now. The fastest route to heaven is death, isn't it? Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Isn't that funny? This is one of those videos where there is no point. It's just the expression of a moment's experience, the feeling of truth, and the assumption that that feeling brings you clarity, even though you're confused. Make sense of that. Make sense of that. But this is the reality. This is the life we live. This is the world we exist in. This is the truth that we avoid. Just had a wonderful conversation with an acquaintance, and we're talking about what's going on. Where are we? Where are we going? What would happen? What's post-COVID? Why did we have COVID? What was pre-COVID? These are all good questions. Everybody has their theory, everybody has their own answer. I don't want to answer for anybody. My dad always told me, think for yourself. If you have 55,000 thoughts a day, you have enough to think about, to actually think for somebody else. You're not living in their head, so you're always wrong anyway. Plus, what you think about is really a reflection. Or if you say, oh yeah, I know what they're thinking. Nah, you just know what you're thinking about their situation. So basically, you're only describing yourself. So, cut the bull and just think for yourself. Don't think for nobody else. Because you can't, even though you think you do. Or you think you can. No, you can't. I know. There's no real angle to this. There's no real message. I guess that's where the message is. See? The message is in there not being any message. The message is in just vibing and just talking, just being able to express what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking and sharing what's going on in here. Like what Bishop Mponga said, I think he said that the greatest battle in the world is for what lies between your two ears. And this is something that we seldom exercise and use. And when you use it, people call you a conspiracy theorist and they slag off everything you do. When you think critically, try and analyze things, you break things down to the infinitesimal and then you recombine them, like reverse engineering. You exercise powers of your mind and you shed the demons of ignorance and the futility of cowardice. Being a bit dramatic today. Maybe I should watch more TV, get more hints and tips on how to actually present myself and be in this theoretical mode. I say. Well, that's about it. 10 minutes of absolute whateverness. I actually wrote a chapter just like this in my book. I didn't have anything to say. I just talked about me sitting down in front of a computer, thinking about what to say, and hey, that's what came out. That's exactly what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to do more like this every day. Nothing in particular, just, hey, whatever comes out, comes out. And if it comes out and it's useful, I use it. You can use it too. If it's not, just dump it. It's another 10 minutes, not well spent or well spent. That all depends on you. Much love.